Check. Hello, and welcome to The Ascertainers, Episode 3. We just had a pre-production meeting.
Speed it up.
And we just had a I can't talk any faster. Mister, I can't. This is as fast as I can talk. Anyhow, I'm Jim. That's Mark.
Hello.
Yep. He told me to shorten up the intro, so thanks for listening. Is that what you had in mind? No. Anyhow, it is episode 3. We are starting to get the word out. Pre-game today, we went out to a little Apple Valley restaurant, Minnesota, called Newt's, which is kind of the birthplace of this podcast because that's where the idea was hatched. Anyhow, we had a fine Newt's, by the way. We're still considering offers for sponsorship, so don't be a stranger. But as we pulled into the neighborhood, we saw some of Mark's old neighbors, my current neighbors, and we wound up telling them that we were getting ready to record our 3rd episode of this cool podcast we're doing. So now the word is out. Now there's actually maybe people that know us that will be listening, so I'm sure that they will be very curious if we will mention them by name. But on that topic,
they probably won't ever download it.
Yeah, whatever. But they'll say they will. So actually, I think what we should do is actually talk about them specifically by name and our likes and dislikes of them. And then when they say, yeah, we heard the episode, thought it was great, we can say, okay, Audie. So anyway, Audie, of course, just to refresh everyone, is our universal name, fictitious name for people that we know and that we admire. And then if it's a person that we know that we maybe don't admire or they're doing some unadmirable stuff, is that a word?
I'd go with it.
Sure. Then they would be a chumley. So if you are referred to as an Audie, that means you're probably a good guy or gal and that you're in good standing in this story. But if you're a chumley, you could still be a good guy or gal, but you weren't being that for the sake of whatever the topic is that we're talking about. Anyhow, here we are. We have a couple of... I just have one thing I have to say about last episode where I really misspoke about the demise of Cars bassist and singer Benjamin Orr, where for some reason I thought he died of unknown causes in a boating accident. Nope, he did not. He died of a very sad way. He died of pancreatic cancer, but that's hardly mysterious, and I feel bad. So sorry I said that. I don't know why I thought that, but it's
way to start it out on a lighthearted note.
Well, yep, that was not good. And anything you regret about last episode, Mark?
Being here with you, yes.
Nice. Anything you want to apologize for? Maybe. Did you watch Grease and maybe thought, you know what? Hey, that Kaneki was a pretty good dude.
No, I stand by all my statements.
All right. Well, I don't blame you. They were good statements. So, as a kid growing up, what would you say is a TV show that you spent the most time watching? Now, it doesn't mean it was your favorite show, but what?
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
The original Star Trek. I got to the point that I could name the episode within the first 2 minutes.
Meaning it was a repeat, and when did they...
Well, they only did 2 years.
Didn't they do the name of the episode right away in the show? I mean, that's not very impressive that you can...
No, they would do it, beginning, and then it would go to the credits. So you would have to... Or the title.
I got you. So yeah, okay. That's so Star Trek.
Yes.
Favorite character other than James T. Kirk?
Yeah, or Spock, or Bones. But other than that, who was your favorite? Red Shirt number 2.
If I said what was your favorite character, you'd say James Kirk, and it'd be boring. So there were other characters. You just named like 3 of them.
Yes, but
I was a Scotty man. Actually, I was a Bones man. Damn it, Jim.
Yeah, funny, but it's not someone you would,
Well,
say.
it's so the hierarchy would be Kirk, and then Spock, and then probably Scotty, and then Bones, and then.
I guess I would go with Nurse Chapel.
Nurse Chapel. I don't know who that is.
That was the one that worked alongside of Bones.
Bones, Nurse Chapel.
She was.
Did she make out with James T. Kirk all the time?
No, she was secretly infatuated with Spock.
With Spock.
Yes.
Did Spock ever, explore other planets and such, or no? Because
he did when he got infected with the spores. He got a little frisky.
I watched a little bit of Star Trek. If anything, I thought James T. Kirk would get infected by some kind of a intergalactic UTI of some such thing, but he got the spores. You say, what are the symptoms of the spores?
It was a flower that would turn to you, and then it would shoot spikes out, and it would infect you.
Seriously?
Then,
so it was like Alien. No,
it would just shoot you, and then you'd become happy-go-lucky.
You think that the taser had been invented before that thing? Because that sounds like they got tased.
Oh, wow.
Huh? It's all connected, man.
I can't keep up with your mind.
It's all connected, man. You just got to look for the signs, man. Anyway, okay. Cool. So you said Nurse, what was her name?
Chapel.
Nurse Chapel. One thing about Star Trek, very, I think, somewhat ahead of its time anyway, because of Uhura. Was that not the
first
woman
interracial kiss?
Oh, well, just in the fact that she was someone in authority on the plane, the plane. What do you call that thing?
The thingamajig in the sky.
Yeah, the fake
in
thing.
that space.
The Star Trek Enterprise. What was that? A spaceship?
Yes.
You call it a spaceship.
You do.
What a ship? It's got nothing to do with a ship. It's a plane. Anyhow, okay. So Star Trek for you. I got to tell you, I have fond memories of watching Star Trek, but I do remember hearing the William Shatner roast, and there was the guy named, he was kind of a nobody at the time, but everyone knows him now. His name is Patton Oswalt.
Oh, yeah.
And he came up and he did all this he did the thing where you roast all the other people, and then he said all these really nice things about William Shatner, and then he pulls out a paper bag and he goes, Mr. Shatner, I wonder if you could do me the honor of seeing if you could act your way out of this paper bag. Apparently he didn't care for him as an actor.
Oh, wow. He was being funny. He wasn't serious.
It's a roast. It's a roast, of course. They're being funny. But
which brings up the Dean Martin roast. Did you ever watch those?
The Dean Martin roast, I don't know if that was part of the Friars Club.
It was.
Series or whatever. But those are genius. I mean, they are absolute. This is what I'd like to fashion our podcast about a roast, where we just roast each other in our thoughts, opinions, and dreams.
I could be Foster Brooks.
We all could be Foster Brooks. Boy, those guys could drink. Do you remember Johnny Carson and stuff? And even on Monday Night Football, those guys were drunk half the
Dandy
time.
Don was. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
What a way! I mean, if you can drink beer and just talk football, like live during a game, which is what we do for free anyway.
He was doing hard liquor though, Dandy Don. It was mixed drinks.
What'd I say? Oh, just drink beer. Okay.
Because beer's not really drinking.
That's right. You can't get drunk on Coors Light. Screamed Jim Dunn on. Oh.
Whoever that guy is.
He's a drag star. Drag racer. He's a funny car driver from Kansas City, Missouri. Look it up. Oh my God, I've said too much. Nobody cares. How many Freudian slips can one man throw in? So anyhow, what did I say? Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'll probably do it again.
I guess we should go back to you and get it off of me. And what was your most watched?
I watched a lot of MASH. But you know what I really watched a lot of? Match Game.
I loved it.
Match Game and every year. And there were certain people that I just didn't... How in the hell did they get that gig? Charles Nelson Riley?
What? I guess he was a great Broadway actor. Other than that, I have no idea what he did.
He was great. He reminded me of a couple of my mom's friends who were not male. But I thought he was at least... he brought a smile to my face every time. But tell me what... Is it Brett Summers?
I have no idea what she did, but she was great.
She was on
that
every
show.
stinking episode.
Gene Rayburn had to be one of the best hosts ever.
He really he's kind of like a conductor where it's like that guy's not doing anything, but then when you look at what he's doing, he had to kind of take every bad joke and lift it up and all that stuff.
And he would push it to the limit and then pull it back. Although he went overboard a couple of times.
Yeah.
To me, with
you know what was weird about that show is that every time a person got to the final thing and they had to pick one person to match with,
Richard Dawson.
Every time. So I loved it when somebody would pick somebody else and he'd be like, "The hell is going on here?"
And they would lose with the other person. He'd go, "I told you."
Yeah, and then he'd basically make out with them when they. Yeah.
On Family Feud, he would kiss everybody.
I know, that was a slobber fest back then. It was a different time, but anyhow, if there was a show. All right, let's think about this. What is the last show that was a new concept?
Wow.
Because the original question that we kind of talked about was if you could remake a show that you liked as a kid. Like I'll say Dragnet. I love Dragnet. And maybe Dragnet might be the only real example, but it's like, remember Emergency?
Oh, I love that show. Because it was like Adam 12, it was realistic. It wasn't like the shows of today where, it was some grand emergency every single day. There were just boring days. I was a fireman for 2 years, and there were just boring days where you just sat there and did nothing.
So you're saying that the old shows were good in their authenticity versus the now every time it's like a 5-alarm fire every episode.
That's why you are the word man of this.
That's me, Jimmy the Word Man, Jim Wordman. Pleased to meet you.
You had Jimmy the Greek and Jimmy the Word Man.
It's funny that the guy they called Jimmy the Greek got fired for saying something insensitive. They called him Jimmy the Greek, for crap's sakes. How is that not insensitive? Anyway.
I never thought of that.
Well, that's why you got me there, buddy boy. And also, honestly, we did it again this week where we recorded almost a full episode, and then we realized that
it was bad.
Not enough fighting. It was just us talking and droning on about stuff. And
it was like pulling teeth.
It was. In fact, I'm going to need that tooth back because that was brutal. And so we decided that we're barely interesting when we don't get along, but when we're just opining, it's a word.
Well, we were getting a little bit too sober.
Is that what it was?
At the time, yeah.
Sober literally or theoretically?
Sure.
Okay. Theoretically is a word. I see you're looking on your phone right now. I want to watch you look up theoretically because I think it'll take you a while.
Toer.
It's Theo. Red. That's a color. I know red. Ickley. All right. So anyway, is there a show that you think? Well, I know that Dukes of Hazzard probably wouldn't even. It would be a 5-minute show because they wouldn't be able to show anything if they remade Dukes of Hazzard.
Well, they did a movie with Johnny Knoxville, and I can't remember the other actor, but it
The other
wasn't
guy.
very good.
What year? Like how many years ago?
I don't know. I think it came out in the 2001, 2002.
So that's 20 years ago. You know what has changed in 20 years? Just
maybe
with
one or
respect-
two things.
Even with respect to like the Confederate flag, and if you even show that you will be excoriated. Don't look that one. Don't even try looking that one up. But that wasn't that the hood of their car or the roof of the car was the
Right, and that
Confederate
came
flag.
up in the movie. They were in downtown, and they stopped at a stoplight or traffic jam, and some people came out and said, "Who are these you two that can go through this neighborhood with a Confederate flag on the roof?" And they didn't know it was up there, so they get a,
Oh, they acted like they didn't know it was there.
Well, they didn't know at first because you watch the movie. I can't explain it.
I will.
But they had to get out through the windows because the doors are.
Because it's a cool car.
Well, they like a stock car. They
Welded them shut.
thank you. I was trying to think of the word welded.
And I thought you could look up excoriated. I don't know. I don't like your chances there. Yeah, it's interesting. I think we made some good progress. Yeah, that's the right word. Toward things, but we are Northerners, and we don't quite get the whole full impact of all that stuff. And we're not going to get real political on this show, so we'll just say, let's keep it going, guys.
I'm going to be a geek again. But remember the original Battlestar Galactica?
Let me correct you. You're going to be a geek still.
Oh, wow.
I remember the Battlestar Galactica, but I confuse it with Buck Rogers.
Wow.
You're right?
I'm hyperventilating.
Yeah, because you didn't think I liked any of that crap. And you're right, I didn't like it, but I'm familiar.
They were totally different, and Battlestar was a lot better.
Okay. Are you mad?
Yeah. But they remade
Which one's better? Battlestar Galactica is
Yes.
better than Buck Rogers. Why are you laughing at that?
Because we have a table, and I can't reach you to slap you.
I was asking a clarifying. Clarifying. I get a little phlegmy there. Clarifying question. So you're telling me, it sounds like what you're saying is that Buck Rogers was superior to
No.
Battlestar Galactica.
I think you're just.
It's
doing
on the
this-
tape. Check the tape. Rewind it.
I
and
think you're just doing that to goat me, get me angry.
it's goad, not goat. Go. Do tell. What? Tell me about your the Buck Rogers and why it's better.
No, that's a sheep. Sorry. Well, goats make the same, don't they? Make the same noise.
Dude, don't get me started on the noises that goats make.
I was just helping it over the fence.
Yep.
No. But anyways, yes, Buck Rogers was terrible.
Okay. All right. Wow.
Beady, 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 beady.
You shouldn't have brought that up. Anyway.
People know
So
that
what
reference.
was the good show?
Battlestar Galactica. And then they remade it on Sci-Fi Channel.
What was the original channel?
We only had 4. So
You had 4? Oh, you lived in the Twin Cities. We had like 3 in Rochester.
well, you had PBS,
Yep.
CBS,
Oh, we had the 3 networks. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and then you had one other,
The UHF channel.
yeah,
Like 45 or whatever, 17.
it was like 27 or something, yeah, something like that.
Did you have
I
to
guess.
flick a thing on your TV to make it work, or
No, you had to turn the top channel to UHF and then the bottom channel to.
unbelievable? Wow, in our lifetime, we've gone from that to Netflix, and that's even I'm sure there's even cooler stuff than Netflix.
Oh, I don't even like those streaming services because it takes 3 hours just to decide what to watch.
It's true.
I mean-
It's like salad dressing and beer. It used to be, and you go to a liquor store, and how big were liquor stores when we were growing up? They had to be about. There was.
Just like a cubby hole.
There were like 3 or 4 of the cheap, the hams and the buckhorns and the fifers and that, and then there was the Blatz. Well, then you're starting to get a little. Maybe okay, now I can kind of see it but it was all the same beer. It was all mostly Pilsner beer, but you had from the height of luxury, which would be Lowenbrow, according to the commercial, right? Tonight is kind of special.
Whatever happened to Lowenbrow?
I don't know. I wonder who made Lowenbrow.
I don't know.
I'll tell you right now, if they started making Lowenbrow again, I would buy the crap out of it. I would buy a hat that says I'm number 1 and just wear that around and drink my Lowenbrow and drive a Trans Am.
Didn't Lowenbrow have the little paper over the...
It was foil.
Foil.
Yeah. Oh, it was nice. Michelob the original Michelob had that too. But yeah, there was Lowenbrow and then
Moosehead.
Yeah. Wow.
Nobody could see that.
That was good.
I forgot we're on.
Fantastic. Mark literally just made a horn. Phrasing. Anyhow, he we're adding that as a new feature this week. Battlestar Galactica. You would make it again or not make it again? Or
no, they remade it and they did a wonderful job. I
thought you said it was bad. I thought you said it was bad on the different channel.
I never said that. I said they remade it.
I thought you said they did it and then they moved it to the Sci-Fi Channel and it got worse.
No, they made it back in the 70s.
Yes.
And then they redid it in the 2000s.
Okay.
We were talking about shows that we would redo. Okay. And that was one that the redo was better than the original. I mean, they did it right.
Okay.
It was just outstanding.
I got to tell you, I can't not wait to not watch that show.
What? Yeah.
Was there an actor I would know in that?
Edward James Olmos. Is that how you say it?
Really?
Yeah.
From Stand and Deliver?
Yes.
Huh. Well, I'm... Really? In space? Huh. All right. Okay.
Well, you haven't mentioned what you would do.
I just think that I thought Dragnet was cool because of the how they were just so like abrupt and so like lawful.
Again, they did a movie, didn't they?
They did do a movie.
It was awful.
And I gotta admit, there were a few great parts of that movie. Mostly Dabney Coleman related. Do you remember Dabney Coleman?
Oh, he was good.
In Mr. Mom, he was good.
Yeah.
There was a Chevy Chase movie called Modern Problems.
Yes.
Where he says...
I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
And I think, was it Dragnet or Modern Problems where he goes... No, it was... He goes, freak. I ain't the freak. He's a freak. I'm a goddamn good-looking man. That's Dabney Coleman at his finest. They should make a T-shirt out of that.
I guess you'd have to see it.
Pretty sure that was enough. But if you do have to see it, there's another line where Chevy Chase sniffs about a sideline of a football field worth of cocaine. And what he says after that, you won't believe. See? Look at that little cliffhanger. Now people are going to...
Chevy Chase was outstanding early.
I keep going.
But, he kind of lost it later on.
This is not fun when we agree, but I couldn't agree with you more how I think he got a little too full of himself.
Yes.
Because he was hilarious until he was just not funny at all. And Dan Aykroyd, it hurts me to say, was not far behind him.
Dan Aykroyd was always a good, like me, a second fiddle.
Can you name the original? Let's do this. The original Saturday Night Live, not ready for primetime players. There were 7 of them.
Chevy Chase.
Okay, we're going to go back and forth. Dan Aykroyd.
Jim Belushi. Bill Murray.
Are you even trying? It's John Belushi.
Oh, what did I say, Jim?
Yeah.
Well, just good. Because
you... All right, I'll go again. Let's see. What do we got? Chevy, Aykroyd, Belushi. Good. We're going in order of difficulty. Jane Curtin.
Yes. I had it too. Do another because I did two. Oh, Garrett Morris.
You did two that were wrong. I'm not going to give you credit for that. So we have 5. Gilda Radner. You got one left, and I got her. So if you don't have it, I'll just.
I know what she looks like.
What does she look like?
She's very skinny blonde.
She is skinny. I don't think she was blonde, but.
Well, dirty brown or dirty blonde.
I think we covered that in the last episode.
Give me a hint.
It rhymes with Schmarain Schmooman.
Lorraine Newman.
Oh, Mark got it. Nicely done.
I needed no help.
Well, clearly. So, do you have a favorite all-time Saturday Night Live character? I know they have their, like early on. I thought that John Belushi was the funniest. As I watched more and more of it, I think Bill Murray who replaced Chevy, by the way, wasn't an original, but he was clearly the funniest. Aykroyd was durable. He was like he could play any type of role. Anyway, where am I going with this?
Well,
who was your favorite early, middle, and late?
I would have to go with Belushi. And I love the movie The Blues Brothers. I think that's just top notch. I don't know the eras, but you got Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't he in World War II? He was a decorated war veteran. He was. Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, and he went on to play Mr. Rogers. And then...
Who did?
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Eddie Murphy, when he...
Oh, I thought you were talking about Audie Murphy.
Try to keep up. I am just like
that was also Tom Hanks, but he wasn't on Saturday Night Live, except as a host.
And then Will Ferrell was very good in his time.
I can't agree with you more on that one. I think in the middle, there was an era where you had Mike Myers and you had Phil Hartman and Dana Carvey at the same time. Those were titans. So anyway, I'm not. We're supposed to disagree on shit, but
those were good, and I thought the political stuff was better for their time because they weren't being hateful. They were just lockbox or Dirigeries.
Oh, doing the Dana Carvey doing Bush. There's a guy that does on the current one. He's got like 3 first names, and that's his whole name. But he does a great Trump, and it's not. It's funny. It's not,
vicious.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's playful. It's not like if you like Trump, you're going to hate this, and if you love Trump, you're going to hate that. It's just it's very accurate, like impersonation wise, and like his mannerisms and everything, and they keep it lighthearted or whatever. But yeah, SNL has had its moment. I've literally gotten just like upset enough to post on my Facebook about how crappy SNL has gotten. But they got their moments, and you can kind of see once in a while where they'll get someone who's funny, and then then Kristen Wiig comes through and leaves, and then they'll you can always see who they're going to really try to push, and they either make it or they don't. But right now there used to be 7 primetime players. Right now they're pushing 20.
I know it.
It's like the first half hour is the introductions. So that's
I guess I haven't watched it since 1923
Yeah.
when it was on the top of its game.
Who do you think? So, growing up, my folks like they'd watch a movie and they would just, oh, that's so and so, that's Steve McQueen, or oh, that's Ingrid Bergman, or that's. Do you have like an actor or actress? I guess we call them actors now. That's like your like lifetime favorite actor ever, or no? Because I kind of don't.
I don't.
I kind of do. I mean,
But you mentioned someone back in that growing up. I guess it would be Steve McQueen. Now that you mentioned that,
Steve McQueen was a cool guy.
Bullet.
The Thomas Crown Affair. There's a really good song in that I don't remember, but I remember watching the movie and going, "Oh, that's from that." But anyway,
The Sand Pebbles.
what is that? That sounds like, is that what Spock got when he was in the Sand Pebbles?
You know when you're on the beach and someone bigger than you throws sand in your eyes? No, he was over there during the Chinese Revolution, and they were they had a gunboat on the river,
Okay.
and it's a very good movie. Very long.
That movie's called The Sand Pebble?
The Sand Pebble, because that was the name of the boat he was on.
Oh, I think it said Sand Pebble.
That is Sand Pebble.
Pebble. Let's slow it down a little
The
more.
Sand Pebble.
SSANDN. Sand dance. Safety dance. Anywho, okay. Yeah, I mean, I think like, you get like your Cary Grants and your James Stewarts. I call him Jimmy because we got a good vibe. But yeah, it just seemed like for a while there, it was like, who was, I mean, is Leonardo DiCaprio that good and that? And he might be.
Well, you brought up Tom Hanks. I think he would be classified as the same.
All right. Well, this is a bad concept because
Tom
I think we're going to
Cruise.
agree on all this stuff. Tom Cruise is not a good actor. He's as good an actor as Shatner. But he gets great roles.
Scientology's coming after us now. We're not going to get political, and here you went.
That's religious, you dipshit. But Scientology's interesting.
Was that very hurtful?
Which part? The dipshit? Or
Yes.
are you all right? You're gonna are you gonna recover?
Which part?
That's a good question. Thank you for clarifying, because I thought it might have been religion.
It could have been anything.
So anyway, Dumas, what do you think? Like Bradley Cooper turned out to be pretty good, and the first time I saw Bradley Cooper was in Wedding Crashers, where he played Sack, who was a total dick in kind of an under role, and then now I've seen him some pretty good stuff. So I don't know why I brought this up. Maybe
You're in love with Bradley Cooper?
I don't think it's love yet. I think we're just kind of getting to know each other.
Well, it's like Matthew McConaughey.
And by getting to know each other, that's me, just messaging him nonstop on his social media.
Matthew McConaughey, I thought, was a crappy actor. Days of Confused. Other than Days of Confused.
And
but then he...
Dallas Buyers Club, is that what got you, or no?
True Detective.
Really? I got to see that. I've not seen that. I saw The Lincoln Lawyer. I don't think that was that good.
No. I guess. I shouldn't say that. I didn't see it.
Did you see The Wolf of Wall Street? He's at the beginning of that, and he's pretty good. He's a kind of a coke-addled mentor to Leo. I think I might have to
I don't know if I watched that one.
fact check and get back to you on that, but I think it was The Wolf of Wall Street, and I think it was pretty good. And after this episode, we can tune in and watch that. So we got that going for us. I'm kind of at this point. Have you ever seen a sequel that was good?
Yes.
Oh,
And that's all I'm going to say.
let me go ahead. Have you ever seen a non-Star Wars sequel that was good?
I'm going to geek out.
Again,
because I
you will
love
continue to geek out. Don't say again. Anyway, go ahead.
Blade Runner.
Oh, okay. That's not too
And then,
geeky.
have you seen it, the original?
Of course not.
Wow.
How come all the movies that we've talked about we talked about some stuff before we started hit record when the magic happens, and but they were all Harrison Ford movies. Is that because you resemble Harrison Ford?
I don't think I do.
Oh, okay. You don't sound like him, but anyway.
And then Blade Runner 2049 with
Well, that's not out for 20 some years. How do you know? What are you, a witch?
But it's going to be great when it comes out.
Oh, wink. Okay.
Who is that actor that's in it though?
Well, don't ask me. You're the one who sees the future. Jack Black. Kevin Hart.
No, you would know him. He's a great actor. He was in First Man. Did you see that one about Neil Armstrong?
Nope. I didn't think that. I thought that was about Adam. How can you call yourself First Man?
They met First Man on the moon.
Well, why don't they just say that? That would be super nice. Was it Matt Damon?
Matt Damon. No.
Was it
Ben
Tom
Affleck?
Hanks?
Are we just gonna for the next
let's go.
10 minutes?
We're into the seas, and we've lost a lot of people. Please look it up. Okay. In the meanwhile, I would say, from a sequel standpoint, I think I've always been disappointed by sequels. Yet I still watch it with this great hope and anticipation that it's going to be good. But I think the worst sequel I've ever seen was Caddyshack 2.
Oh,
a
that
sequel
was
that
bad.
just didn't need to be made.
Yeah.
Did you find your thing?
Ryan Gosling.
Oh. How much time do we have? Hold on, I got a little bit of the vapors. I think we talked about this last time. If your name is Ryan and you work in Hollywood, my number is 555. Whatever. The Gauze and Ryan Reynolds.
Wow, the Gauze.
Well, we call him the Gauze, yeah. So, Ryan Gosling, big fan. He's in what? First
Blade
Man?
Runner. Yeah, First Man, and then 2049.
Okay,
Blade Runner 2049.
Let's pause this. I got to watch that movie super quick. Between Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Gosling, maybe that'll be our next Andy Gibb or Sean Cassidy, because that is a thinker, I think, as to which is the more...
Well, you shouldn't think on it. You should right now.
I got to go with Reynolds.
Wow, I would too.
Well, I got it first. So anyhow, no, I think we have some strange vibrations coming off of some of these episodes, but it's fine. We're very both happily married men.
Ryan Gosling is in Only God Forgives too. That's a very indie type movie that was very good.
To say that we, I kind of feel bad for the guys because he's probably going to hear this and just be crushed.
Well, he'd be pretty happy that you always call him the Gauze.
Well, I think that's the only thing that'll get him through. But I'll tell you right now, if Ryan Reynolds meets Mark first and they hit it off, Ryan, I'm calling you. So, wow, this is totally not what I thought we'd be talking about. I'm okay with it.
We digress.
So, all right. Did we do our I did my retraction. Did you have anything you felt bad about from the last episode, Mark? Or
I really don't.
Okay.
I put it out there, and the saying that I hate, it is what it is. I hate that saying, but I just said it. Isn't that terrible?
I can't believe you qualified it by saying you hate it, then you said it, and then you
again,
commented that you don't like it.
right. So I'll probably.
Why don't you come up with a new phrase?
No, I want something to apologize for next podcast.
I think you gotta set it up with a cliche. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And that's all she wrote. You mother truckers. Okay. Well, it's all well and good. But now that we're kind of on the spotlight now because some neighbors are going to be listening, so I think we probably should to make it interesting for them for the next episode, we might have to throw a neighborhood story in without naming names, but you know who you are. I don't know. Or not.
Did we, I can't remember this time or last time we mentioned the email address that people can.
I feel like I know we mentioned it at the end of episode 2, but we have an email, and it is. Are you ready? You need to get a pen? I'll wait. Go ahead. No, it's in the drawer. Not that one. No. Oh, it's right there. Okay, good. It's the Ascertainers, spelled traditionally.
Which I don't know what you mean by that, but
well, somebody could spell it, ASSER.
Well, that could be tradition in their family.
Well, for our non-Greek listeners, the Ascertainers is spelled THE. That's the traditional part. Oh, were you talking about? Oh, so THE ASCERTAINERS at sign gmail.com. So if you have any comments, we'd love to hear them and ignore them. And but if you have any like show topics or anything you think we should talk about because we're so interesting, lay it on us. Preferably stuff that we disagree on or stuff that's controversial, because we know, because we've erased a couple of episodes where we just talked about stuff that we agree on, and it's horrible. So I think we've done enough damage for tonight. Mark, do you have anything to add?
No, I think it's the second iteration went better.
Okay, so how many more do you think before we
will be professionals by episode 5?
Well, no, but how many episodes do we have to record and trash before we get to?
More times than we'll ever imagine.
I just wonder right now. I wonder if Ryan Gosling is like thinking about emailing us.
Oh, he already sent me a text. He said, "I want you more than Jim."
Okay.
Sorry, that was hurtful.
I guess it's time to wrap it up. Mark, I'm thinking about leaving the podcast, but anyway, thanks for listening. Sorry.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry.
Hopefully we'll see you next time.